And it started recording. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a few things like home. So to show our orientation, the best view is generally home. So we've got our home key. To move around, we can move around with this. What I don't like on mine though, is if I click on the right side, that is actually the front. To me, that would be the front and that would be the top. So I'm happy that the top's correct and that the bottom's correct, but I think that that being the front of my face should be the front. So what I can do is I can right click on this one and reset current view as front. So now that's my front, that's my left, and that's my right side, and it looks correct how I think it should be. So that's how I can redo the orientation. This is important for when we are going to then go and put it into an orthographic drawing. Now, if you look up the back of the classroom, there's some yo-yos on the wall, and you can see there's orthographic projections up there. So this is really important to have this view right from here. Now, once we've finished making our freeform, so I've already made my freeform, I'm going to then go finish freeform. So you can't do anything until that freeform is finished. It's like a sketch. Once you've done your sketch, you have to finish it to be able to then edit it. So we did this before. We worked out, I want to do some eyes in the front, so I need to work out what orientation this is. And sometimes it's a bit tricky to see. So actually, if I go to home, it's probably easiest to see. So that would be left and right, that would be top and bottom, that would be front and back. So if I'm going to do some eyes in the front, I want my YZ plane in this case. So I'm going to do an offset plane on that, and I want to push it all the way out to the front of his nose. It doesn't matter if it's off the front, because I'm just going to extrude that part in further. So for ease, I'm just going to put it out here, press enter, and then I can do a new sketch on this part here. And I want to do two eyes, but I'll just use a line tool. So single click, and single click and hold to make a curve. Single click, and single click, and single click here and curve. Make sure that this is all joining up. If you have open lines using the line tool, you can't select that surface. And I know that they're all joined because it goes yellow in there. Ideally, I'd then go draw another one on the same size. There is a way to reflect that, but I'm not going to go through that now. If we were to do two eyes, in my case, I'm just going to do a circle. You can use the shortcut keys. So if I press L on the keyboard, the line tool will come up. If I press the C on the keyboard, the circle will come up. So I'm just going to do odd shape eyes, stop sketch, and now I can extrude these back into the head. So I want to cut. If it automatically goes backwards, it will go into cut mode because it's cutting back into the object. So obviously that would cut through his face, so I've probably gone a bit too far there. I probably only want to cut that far into it. Now another thing I can do is, if I want his eyes to be sticking out, instead of going cut, I can go join. So I could go join, and that's going to add it onto the existing part there. The other one I can do is, I can do two-sided, so I can even pull it out from there as well. So I could do
Can you cut it from there?
a two-sided cut as well.
Can you copy and paste like your first sketch thing that you did? Is there a way to get like the same eye that you did on the left and the right as well?
There is. I'm going to show you individually how to do that, because I don't want to get caught up on that right now. So I'm just going to go one-sided, and I'm going to go join, have really big popping out bulging eyes, and I'm happy with that. Then I go to the modify tool, and I can use my chamfers, and I would select more than one surface, but at the moment it's... So ideally I'd go all around the outside and do a nice little chamfer to make it really pretty. Okay, so now I've started to do that. I'm also going to do a neck, so in my bottom, I need to select the surface, offset plane, and I want to offset it to the bottom of my neck. Press enter, and then I'm going to create a new sketch on that offset. And I want to use the circle tool to make a hole in the neck. And this is where we need to work out the diameter of the neck. So if you want your neck 10 millimeters, I need the hole to be 10.5 millimeters. So I'm going to put mine in as 10.5. You can change those measurements to be bigger diameter or smaller diameter, that's fine. And then I can go select that shape and cut that in. And ideally, the neck width should be about 10 mil minimum into the actual body, the negative part of it. So I've got that 10 mil in. Now what I'm going to do is create a new part. So I can create a new part on this here. So I'm going to create a new part off this plane here. So the top of the neck, where the hole goes, I'm going to put in a new body. A new component. So I'll select this part here and I can go new sketch and I'll go the circle tool. And this time will only be 10 millimeters because I want it smaller so it will fit inside. And then I can extrude that out. But when I go to extrude that out, I want to create this as a new component because we want it to be able to print as a separate part. If I was to do join, it would actually fuse onto the existing part. So I'm going to scroll down to new component. So this is a really important part for your second part because we have to do two parts. So the top part, my head, I'm pretty happy with. I've done that. Now I'm going to actually create the second part. So I'm going to extrude that out until I think it's good. So it's going to be all the way to there. I'm happy with the neck about that long. Enter. And now I can start actually drawing my body on this part here. So I'm just going to do a body like this. And stop sketch. Extrude that out. Oh, spin it around again. Okay. And now I've actually got two components. So I've got the head component, which I can turn off, and I've got my body component. So, girls, listen up, please. I can also turn that component off as well, all right? So, it's really important that you're creating multiple components for each of your parts, all right? So I'm going to pause or stop that I'm going to